They're feeling good, guys. This team is loose, they are confident, and honestly, they're just ready to play baseball and see what happens. Look, Florida A&M is not supposed to win this regional. Florida, who they play tonight, is ranked number 2 in the entire country. I think they caught the jet stream on the way back from the West Coast to the East Coast because the plane is pulling in right now. That Allegiant Air flight about to get splashed with the water cannons in celebration. I'm just going to call myself out. My fastest mile time was 8-ish minutes, maybe just
That's
below
respectable.
Just below 9.
I couldn't run that today. I can't
yeah, well, I definitely couldn't do that. A lot of garnet and gold being thrown from the air. You saw it with that trophy presentation. So cool that we just have to do it with you guys too. A day 2 starter, he clinched the Super Regional for the Gators with a 13 strikeout performance against South Carolina, sealing up the Gator spot in Omaha for the College World Series. But before Hurston was sitting down batters in the SEC, he was doing the same for the Thomasville Bulldogs. The Florida State baseball team faces James Madison in Game 1 of a 3-game series. It's opening day. Baseball is back. The Rattlers waited. There's 20 players ineligible due to either academic reasons or to transfer rules. And head coach Willie Simmons telling me, quite frankly, this game is just unsafe to play with that many players ineligible. So how did they practice if they weren't near each other? They recorded their parts on their cell phones and sent them to each other in text messages. Morgan Jones gives the lead to the Seminoles for good. This jumper puts them on top, and they would never look back. You put them in the bag, you shake it up, they're covered in sugar. I couldn't agree more. And now I have sugar all over me.
What more can you ask for? There's nothing else you can ask for.
I'm gonna ask then, Coach, how about a state championship? Thomasville, Vidalia, Game 3, winner take all, Wednesday at noon. We have silent auctions, a live auction, a trip to Hawaii is on the line, there's games, cornhole. Did you see that? Did you get that on live television? Yeah, I'm pretty good at it. Guys, you can give a cheer. Be loud. There we go. You hear? 7A state champs in the state of Georgia. Coach, it's been about a week. Has it sunk in? What's the feeling like? How are we feeling today? The night before Christmas, and there's a buzz around town. For the first time in a long time, a football team is preparing for a crown. Oh, and they are pretty too. Look at them shine. You hear it all the time from athletes, guys. We're ring chasing. Ring me. Athletes, they like the bling.
You know, coming out like we did against anyway.
Oh, yeah, they got coached pretty good, and they got my shoes, too, so thanks, guys. What a night!
Florida State does have that advantage of playing that Week 0 game. And for LSU, this is the first time we'll see the Tigers under new head coach Brian Kelly. But this is not the first time this Seminole team has dealt with Coach Kelly.
They feel those are issues that have been kept within the university structure, but, quote, since they have not been adequately resolved, the team has now released this letter. Recent shootings in Gadsden and Leon counties have impacted students at Gadsden County High School, the county Coach Simmons grew up in. He has long spoken out about his experiences with gun violence, and when addressing those male students at Gadsden County, he brought others who have unfortunately dealt with it too. For Florida A&M head football coach Willie Simmons.
To see somebody with a hole in their head, bleeding out, and seeing them gas and take their last few breaths. And I knew right then he wasn't going to make it.
The effects of gun violence are personal.
It's heartbreaking, every time we hear or see one of our young students lose their lives to senseless violence.
The numbers just in Leon County are staggering. There were nearly 30 shootings and 5 homicides in the month of January alone.
Most of us, too many of us, have been victims to gun violence in some capacity.
That's why Willie went back home this week to Gadsden County.
Went to Carter Paramore Middle School.
To talk to kids that grew up just like him, and he didn't go alone.
My first time seeing somebody get killed was when I was 8. Me and a couple other guys got into a gang fight, and one of the guys that was fighting alongside with me wound up losing his life.
Rattler football players made the trip too. All had a story to tell.
I just lost my brother to gun violence.
The best mechanic in the world, one of my mentors coming up, who taught me how to fight, who taught me how to handle different situations, who saved my life from getting shot one time.
He knew he wasn't really a role model, but he knew that I looked up to him, and he affected a lot of my life decisions and things like that. So it hit me hard when I lost him.
The hope?
You putting yourself on the line and putting yourself at risk for something you don't even own.
If their stories can save just one life, sharing their pain was worth it.
Them seeing us come up there and really open up to them and tell them how it is, hopefully it can really change them. If it touched all of us, I'm pretty sure it'll touch a lot of them here.
Growing up, the 4 friends that I had, they're all dead.
Things like this, I think, will go a long way to show these young people that there is a life outside of the streets, outside of violence. I think it will help these guys see someone that looks like them, it's come from situations like them, that have gone on to do great things in life.
A life saved and giving back to save others.
Now, Coach Simmons told me that he does plan to continue these open conversations with area high school students and his athletes. He said gun violence in the Big Bend is an ongoing issue the community has to take control of. Godby High School senior basketball player Clariana Jackson has faced countless challenges in high school, becoming a young mother, tearing her ACL, but through it all, she kept her faith and she persevered. And now Clariana is college bound and ready for anything else that may come her way. To understand this moment, you have to understand Clariana Jackson's story.
I wasn't running the same. I wasn't diving on the floor for the ball again, but I hit it and I played my whole entire freshman year.
As we got almost towards the end of the season, we noticed she just wasn't herself. We were intuitive, but things go on all the time, didn't think anything of it. And then, of course, shortly after the season, we found out why she was pregnant.
Cece gave birth to her daughter Faith that August, just before the start of her sophomore year at Godby High School.
I was getting up in the morning, making sure she was okay, getting on school, take me a lunch break, make sure she okay. So I had a lot of times where I wanted to give up, but I didn't.
So Cece pressed on.
Looking down at her, I can't turn my back.
She made her return to the court until she was sidelined her junior season with an ankle injury.
We were in districts playing Pine Forest.
It was heartbreaking.
Enter her final season as a Godby Cougar, a final chance for a college scholarship.
I was running to steal the ball and I stepped wrong and I tore my ACL.
5 games in, Cece's high school career was over.
I won't say I was asking why, but I was wondering why me.
But with 2 little eyes watching, Cece again pressed on.
If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't even be here.
She became the person in weight training and practice saying, guys, you got to do it. Rather it be for me, for you. All of us were sad for her, and she was the one rallying us to keep going.
That perseverance is what led her to Friday.
She has now been afforded an opportunity to sign a scholarship with William Penn University.
A full-ride scholarship and a chance to make life better for her and for Faith.
I'm going to Iowa. That's 16 hours away. Yes, I'm going to miss her, but I'm doing this for her.
I can't wait to see what happens with her next as an athlete, as a student, and as a mom, because I know that she's proven the fact to her daughter that God is not finished with her yet.
Cece said she is thankful for her parents for never turning their back on her. Faith will stay with them while Cece is in Iowa playing basketball. She said she's interested in majoring in nursing or criminology.